Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, TheMadKaiger, up here today with another game review. Again, I apologise for the lateness of the video. I thought I'd show off this month's t-shirt that I got from T-Shirt Picker or Monthly Tea Club, the golden days. Pretty cool t-shirt actually. Really like this one. I've chose next month's one. It's pretty cool for next month. Another NES themed shirt. You know me, I love some retro stuff. Ironically, I don't have an NES in my thing, but I do have NES games via modded systems, as you know. But before I show it off, I thought I would show off a couple of things that I did pick up. I might be getting some more stuff Friday. I don't know yet. Picked up circuit breakers. I might have already shown this off. I don't know. If I already have, I'm sorry. But there's circuit breakers. Sort of indie style game. You know how much I love them. And Don't Knock Twice, another horror VR title. Yeah, if I've already shown this off in the previous video, I'm sorry. I might have, I might not have. I can't remember if I did. And then I've got the Move controllers. These were a pain in the ass to get. I had to buy them secondhand from CEX. They do work, which is good. Only problem is, in this bedroom, I don't have enough room to play the PlayStation VR. The only other thing I could think of doing is turning it round and putting the camera facing that way. If not, I've got to move them downstairs, which is a bit of a shame. I don't really want to move my PS4 downstairs. I was thinking about getting a cheap PS4 system, just a second-hand one, just so I could have it downstairs to play VR games. I don't know yet. I am working on hopefully getting a setup downstairs with all my consoles already set up. Maybe not all ready to play straight away, but definitely all on display and things like that. But I do want to play some more VR. I picked up a couple of digital games as well. I can't remember all of them, but I know the main one that I got was the Killing Floor VR Killing Floor Incursion. But today's game we are reviewing is Far Cry New Dawn. As promised, a bit late, but better late than never. As you know, I already did a Far Cry 5 review, so check that out before watching this video because it may contain spoilers from Far Cry 5. I'll try not to, but you can't always guarantee things. These are unscripted videos. So Far Cry New Dawn. When this game was announced, I'm going to be completely honest, I was a bit skeptical. I was like, really? Do we really need another Far Cry game come out within the year after Far Cry 5? And it's not really... well, it is technically a sequel to Far Cry 5. So it is worth playing Far Cry 5 before playing this game. I will warn you, if you haven't played Far Cry 5 and you care about the story, check out Far Cry 5 before playing New Dawn. I was a bit skeptical because another post-apocalyptic game, but everything was all colourful and stuff. And I was thinking, at first, I was a little bit like, that's not what post-apocalyptic games are meant to be like. They're meant to be like Mad Max style, you know, Fallout style, all, you know, broken down and bombs and, you know, destruction. But when I actually played this game, I actually began to appreciate what they were trying to do. This whole nuclear fallout thing, after a while, the world will become, you know, reborn almost. And that's why there's a lot of colour in this game. And I've got to say, it actually is pretty beautiful. If you like colour in your game, Far Cry 5 New Dawn has a lot of colour to it. And it does have its, you know, broken down places, but it's basically a reskinned map from Far Cry 5. It's the same map, but just reskinned, you know, with forest and broken down buildings and things. Lots of colours, mainly pink and blue. Definitely a lot of pink in this game. So what exactly does Far Cry New Dawn offer compared to Far Cry 5? Well, there is quite a big difference between this and Far Cry 5. The first thing I noticed when playing this game was the sort of new style of combat. So it uses that RPG combat, you know, where people have health bars, weapons do a certain amount of damage, you know, with numbers and things like that. Now, Ubisoft, you have done that to quite a few games, Assassin's Creed, The Division and things like that. So they are actually making their games into this sort of newer RPG style where you level up and you get better equipment and things like that. Does it work in Far Cry? Yes and no. It's different, but when you play it after playing, you know, all of the other Far Cry games, and then you play this one, you think, why did they change that for? How it works in this game doesn't use currency, so basically you get materials and you can use your materials to level up your weapon. Well, you can't level up your weapons as much in this game. You just buy new ones and unlock new ones, and obviously there are a few, like, again, each weapon is sort of like reskinned from the other Far Cry games, but like sort of modified, like that post-apocalyptic modified. So you might have an assault rifle that's been taped together and then it has a screwdriver for a bayonet, which I did like the bayonet attachments to the guns in this game. I love bayonets in video games. Again, it is a continuation. The whole story is basically, you know, you basically you have your own sort of residence as such. I can't remember what it was called. Home base, yeah. So you have like a home base. I forgot what it was called now. Not Prophecy. It might have been Prophecy. No, Prospect. That's it, Prospect. So you have this place called Prospect, and you basically can level that up. So you like level up like your garden to get more like health equipment. You level up your workbench so you can craft better weapons and stuff like that. And I do like that style of thing where you level up your own base to unlock new things. And it works alright. It's not that in-depth. It's quite simply getting a certain amount of items, getting a certain amount of people working for you and stuff like that. Still uses that guns for hire system from Far Cry 5. So a lot of the things from Far Cry 5 are still in New Dawn. Again, same thing. You can upgrade weapons, cars, vehicles, build them. Again, there's some returning characters. So if you did like Far Cry 5 story, you will be happy to know that there are some returning characters. The cult has come back in this game, but for some reason the cult are actually people you're working with in this game. Again, it's based 17 years after Far Cry 5 and you're playing as a new character, so obviously you don't really know. You only know about the cult from what you've been told by other people, so it makes sense. Again, Joseph Seed is in the game. I won't spoil anything on the story front. Will recommend playing it if you want to see the story. The game does offer some new things into the game. Still uses that sort of perk-based system like from the last one, but there's not as many perks. There's a few cool things that they did add into the game, like once you get quite far in the game, it's about 2/3, 3/4 of the way, I guess, you can unlock special abilities. So you can do like double jumps, you can go into like a berserk mode and things like that, which is pretty cool. It is pretty fun to just double jump around, but it didn't need that. I will say it didn't need that supernatural abilities and things into the game. But it was there, you know, but it is kind of like, well, why did they give you that towards the end of the game? This game doesn't have a New Game Plus mode, unlike Far Cry 5, where the game ends once you beat the final mission and then you have to go and play through it all again in New Game Plus. This game has a post-end game. So basically, once you finish the main story, you can go back into the world and get everything that you missed and do all the challenges and things like that. Which I do like. I wish Far Cry 5 had that as well as a New Game Plus mode. But it makes sense with Far Cry 5's ending. I won't spoil it. But So this game does have some replay value on that sense. A new thing in the game was expedition mode, which is basically where you can fly off and you basically go into like a separate map almost, and you have to sort of find a certain supply drop and then you have to escape with it basically. That was pretty cool. I did like that mode, but here's where my disappointment from this game comes. No arcade mode. No DLC, no extra modes. Far Cry 5, I already said how good that game did with the extra mode, the New Game Plus, the arcade mode, the DLC. Yeah, the DLC you had to pay for, but still, the arcade mode made the game just have that community creation. Why they couldn't have put the arcade mode in this game, and then use the same arcade mode from Far Cry 5, but also add New Dawn modes into it so you can use New Dawn weapons and Far Cry 5 weapons together. That would have been pretty cool to see. No New Game Plus mode again, but it has a post-end game, so, you know, I understand that. No DLC. No extra missions, no cool modes. A survival mode, no arena. Yeah, Ubisoft sort of let the ball drop with this one. Yes, this game wasn't being sold as much as Far Cry 5 when it first came out. I got it for a tenner, which is a fair price. It is a lot shorter than Far Cry 5 and there's not as much missions, I did notice, especially when it comes to side missions. The outpost thing in this game is different. So basically, once you capture an outpost, you can either keep it or you can recycle it. And then the enemies come back with higher level enemies and it's harder, but you get more rewards from it. Which I do like, that you can go back and challenge yourself by doing that. There were a few things about this game that I did like. Like I said, I liked the sort of upgrading your weapons, not in the normal sense of getting attachments and things. Each weapon is its own weapon. You can upgrade them a little bit, I think. You can get a perk, or once you get a certain amount, I think you can upgrade the weapon, which I think just increases the base damage, I think. Like I said, I didn't complete this game 100%. I have beaten the main story. Will I go back and get everything else in the game? Probably at one point I will try and 100% this game. I think there is a difficulty setting in this game as well. So there might be an achievement for beating the game on the hardest difficulty. I think there is. Most games do have that if they have the hard difficulties. Like I said, the enemies are based on levels. So you have different rankings. So you have rank 1, 2, 3 and 4. So obviously like grey, blue, purple and gold. And obviously each one is stronger than the last, might have more armour and things like that. I didn't think Far Cry New Dawn was a bad game in any way. They just sort of let the ball drop on this game. This game didn't have to come out so quickly. They could have let this game put more effort into the game, or at least add more content into the game. It still has co-op, so if you like co-op, you can continue on. So if you played through Far Cry 5 with a friend, it is worth doing Far Cry New Dawn, so you can both experience it together. Like I said, I do like that they tried something new with this, with its sort of leveling up system, the enemies having ranks and things. But at the same time, when you've got 6, 7 Far Cry games beforehand that don't use that, and then you change the format from it, just the base format at least, the combat format, it sort of, you're either going to get a positive reaction, oh, change is good, or you're going to get the negative reaction, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Because I've never had a problem with Far Cry's combat system. Like I said, I'm not saying that I don't like the combat system. I just felt like it didn't need to be changed. They could have just added stronger enemies in a normal sense. But again, it makes sense with the upgrading your weapons and things like that. So it does make sense why they've done it. But at the same time, I can understand some people's frustration with this game. So the positives, still is a pretty beautiful game. Lots of nice colours. There is a lot of beauty in this game. It is nice, especially when you take some photo mode and things like that. You can get some lovely screenshots, if that's your thing. Some of the weapons are pretty cool designed weapons. The saw launch is pretty cool. I was a bit disappointed that you couldn't actually craft more weapons that other than really this saw launcher. I think the saw launcher is the only one that's a new weapon. Might be a few other little ones here and there, but there should have been more sort of self-made weapons. They could have put like harpoon guns or something, you know, something cool like that. You know, the other weapons are just weapons from Far Cry 5, just reskinned and changed a little bit. It is cool that you get bayonets, so you can do some pretty cool bayonet takedowns and things. I will say, I'm not saying that I don't like this game. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I would definitely say this game wasn't worth the asking price when it came out. This should have been a £25 to £30 game instead of a £40 to £50 game. I think it was being sold for. But if you can get this game for £10, between £10 to £15, it's definitely worth a playthrough, especially if you've played Far Cry 5. A different style of Far Cry. It's not a miss, but I do hope when they do the next Far Cry game, if they do the next Far Cry game, they don't use this system. They go back to the original Far Cry system. Whether we get a Far Cry 6 or a completely new IP from Far Cry, I don't know, but I hope that this is the only post-apocalyptic Far Cry that we get, because post-apocalyptic games as of late, especially over the past couple of years, we have an overabundance of them. There's just so many post-apocalyptic games. Not saying that I don't like that setting, but at the same time, when you do something so much, you've got to really do something different to stand out, which is why they probably made this game a bit more like light and things, rather than just you know, dark and decrepit, you know, almost. God tier drink. But yeah, there's Far Cry New Dawn. If I was to give it a rating, I'd give it about maybe a 7 out of 10, between 6.8, between 6.5 and 7. So 6.5 stars, 7 stars. Not the worst score, but definitely room for improvement. My biggest disappointment was the lack of extra modes. There was no excuse really. They could have still had arcade mode and still used the server from Far Cry 5, and then just added some extra content so you could use the weapons and designs and enemies. And it would have been nice to be able to mix. Just imagine how cool it would have been to have zombies and have that post-apocalyptic weapons and things like that. That would have been really cool. So it was a bit of a missed opportunity on Ubisoft's behalf there. Whether we'll see a new Far Cry anytime soon, I don't know. But I will say, go back to the old style of Far Cry. Don't use this RP leveling up system like that. Just stick with Far Cry how it is meant to be done. But if you enjoy Far Cry and you want more Far Cry, especially if you played 5, it is worth playing if you enjoyed the story of Far Cry 5 and stuff like that. But there we go, another game done, another game reviewed almost. The next review will be Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man. While I mention Spider-Man, all I'm going to say is this whole Sony's got Spider-Man back. Spider-Man is no longer in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know, man. Whose fault it is? Some people are saying it's Sony's fault. Some people are saying it's Disney's fault for asking too much money from it. I don't know. At the end of the day, Spider-Man should be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He shouldn't be in his own set of movies. He should be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed. Poor Tom Holland. Especially after Far From Home was such a good film. You know, I felt like the Marvel Studios do a better job with their Marvel films than, you know, Sony do with theirs. Not saying that they're bad films, but yeah, it is what it is. That's what happens when you get studios collab and things like that. There's always something. I don't know, what more can I say, you know, but at least we got the game. Oh, and Insomniac Games are now Sony, with Sony, so we'll definitely, hopefully, be seeing a Spider-Man 2, hopefully, not the movie, the game Spider-Man 2. It would be pretty cool to see the next Spider-Man game, and, well, I won't talk about that yet. I'll talk about that in my Spider-Man review. And by Spider-Man review, I mean the PS4 game. It's such a nightmare because there's 2 games called well, there's 3 actually games called Spider-Man. There's the original Spider-Man. Well, there's well, there's more than that. But when you just go Spider-Man, just the name Spider-Man, you go, do you mean the PlayStation 1 Spider-Man, PlayStation 2 Spider-Man, that was called Spider-Man, which was based on these, the fucking Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, or do you mean Spider-Man on PS4? And then all the other Spider-Man games in between. There's so many Spider-Man games. But the PS4 one was a big thumbs up from me, and the review should be coming pretty soon, hopefully. I'll try to get it done before the end of the week. Hopefully we can get back on track. Might be a few pickups on Friday. Maybe. Might get a few little bits here and there. But yeah, and also if you're wondering what I'm playing at the moment, and I just spilled some drink, I'm playing Watch Dogs, the original Watch Dogs. So that'll be the next review after Spider-Man. On Xbox, a bit of everything here and there. I tried out Vigor last night. Cool concept. Not handled very well at the moment, but it's a preview title, so understandable. But yeah, I'm enjoying Watch Dogs. I think tonight I might watch another movie. I'm going to watch Faces of Death 4 probably. I watched the second one the other day. Wouldn't say it's great, but it is what it is. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like and of course comment below. Let me know what you think of Far Cry New Dawn. Did you like it? Did you not? Is there some things you liked about the game? What didn't you like about the game? Let me know. And of course, feel free to subscribe for more game reviews, updates, collections, pickups. It's all here. It's all here. And as always, check me out on Instagram and Twitter at TheMadKaiger. I will be posting updates to the channel and games posted there if you want to see what I picked up that I don't show off in a pickups video. You'll see it all there, plus other weird things that I decide to post. And as always, have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye.